Hi, my name is Richard Capone, and I'm the CEO of Let's Go Learn. And today I'm going to explain to you how to read the Adam report. Now, I'm assuming you're a parent, and as a result, you're probably going to get one of two reports. You're either going to see this summary report right here, or you're going to see the detailed progress report. You really almost need both, but I'm going to explain both of them and you could sort of decide for yourself. So first of all, you're going to see your child's name right here at the top, and then you're going to see their grade level. Now notice the grade says 4.8. So this particular student is near the end of fourth grade. So they're a fourth grader, but you look at this, it's in May, so we consider that 4.8. We look at a decimal grade level because we want to judge things. We expect a different performance at the beginning of the year than at the end of the year. So right now we're looking at a summary report for this student, and initially this is just giving us general scores, like where are the students doing in numbers and operations, measurements, data analysis, geometry, algebra, and total. So these are major strands of mathematics. And so it gives you an idea. These scores are grade level scores. So in theory, if the student's on grade level, they're at 4.8, you would want to see approximately a 4.8 score. But a lot of students sometimes will be a little bit below that, especially as you get into upper elementary. Math is very rigorous, so almost nationwide we see that the scores sometimes are a little lower. But let's look at this. So we're looking at this, and we can see some areas of concern. Measurement, 2.56. That's a little bit low. But within numbers and operations, 4.14, that's not bad. So now let's take a look at these specific areas. So if I want to look at numbers and operations, these are the specific skill areas that make up each of those strands. So numbers and operations is essentially all these different things. Recognizing numbers, place value, comparing and ordering, addition of whole numbers, subtraction of whole numbers, fractions. And what you see in this big bar, this represents all the skills that are taught. So the longer the bar, it means there's more skills being taught in order to master it. Now this particular student has mastered all of numbers, has mastered almost all of place value, mastered all of addition of whole numbers. Where we see some weakness is in division and fractions, because the student's performance is the skinny bar on top of the big bar. Now when it's red, it means the student is below grade level. Now some of these areas here below don't have anything, but some of those are above the student's grade level. So maybe we're not concerned about it yet because this student's in fourth grade. Now in measurement, we saw that there were some low scores. Look at this. This student doesn't have mastery in any of the time areas. Same with temperature. Length is low, weight is low as well. So these can actually be remediated pretty quickly because teaching a student how to tell the time with an analog and digital clock is very easy to do. A few lessons. Teaching a student how to read the temperature is not too difficult either. So you see that what's nice about this is you can start realizing, what do I need to do to bring this student up to speed very quickly? Now if you want more detailed, you're going to look at the corresponding progress report. So let's take a look at that. So now we're looking at the corresponding progress report or detailed report. Now this report gives us a lot more detail. So on the very top you see the double arrow. This tells you this is the next skill that your child needs to learn. Right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now we knew that Francis was strong in numbers, so it says all skills mastered in this area. Within place value, the double arrow is on decimal place value, so Francis will identify the place value of decimals. So that's all he needs to learn, and then he has this skill mastered, right? We go down, a lot of these are all mastered. Multiplication of whole numbers, we need a little bit of work. Let's jump into fractions, because we looked at this before. So ordering fractions is the next skill that Francis needs to work on. So Francis will order fractions. And after that, he'll work on decimal equivalent of a fraction and solving word problems using fractions, and et cetera, et cetera. So you see, this tells you what you need to do specifically. Now, when things are in red, that means the student is below grade level and you need to work on those. So you want to work on all 6 skills within fractions, and that'll bring Francis up to speed. Now before we looked at measurement, so let's scroll down to measurement. I told you that he had some trouble reading time, reading a clock, so Francis will correctly read a clock, so he needs to be taught that. Francis will demonstrate understanding of calendar and months. Given time, Francis will calculate the lapse time, and so on and so forth. So you see, these are some skills to work on. The first one we start with is reading a clock, and then we move on to a calendar, and then we move on to elapsed time. Again, not too difficult. You could do this in a day. by teaching a student. But now you know specifically what to work on. Likewise in temperature, understanding a thermometer, reading a thermometer properly, right, and so on and so forth. So this report is very long though. It could go up to 12 pages, or it varies, 10 to 15 pages. But this will provide detailed data of specific skills that you need to work on with your child. All right, I hope this makes sense. Once you dive into it, it gets a little easier. Again, all of this is linear. So remember, these are organized in order of how you teach. And a good thing too about these is these are skills that you can look up on the internet. So if you wonder, what does it mean to identify prime factors? You can actually just look that up on Google. What are identifying prime factors? And then you understand what that lesson may be. All right, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this video.